For well we know this weary soiled earth is yet thine own by right of its new birth, since that great cross upreared on Calvary redeemed it from its fault and shame to thee.
I think let's go back to where we turn right to come up here.
Does God care about how we live in the natural world? We're travelling 1,000 miles over land and water, from Lindisfarne in England, across the Outer Hebrides, and on to the Orkney Islands off the north coast of Scotland, on a journey to discover what the Christian faith has to do with how we live in the natural world.
The whole of God's work and Jesus' redeeming work is not just with us as humans, but it's with the whole of creation. It isn't God so loved humanity that he sent his only begotten Son here. God so loved the world, cosmos in Greek.
And I knelt on the ground and my inside turned round and the earth shook, and I felt God say, I want my people to become aware of my presence in all of creation. I want them to strip off the excess baggage they've accumulated in recent centuries and travel light as pilgrims with space in their hearts for hospitality towards others. And I knew I would never be the same again.
Following ancient and new pilgrim routes, we discovered the deep roots of an ancient Christianity of the British Isles steeped in God's creation, experience firsthand the joy and the pain of pilgrimage, and meet theologians, crofters, outdoor churches, intentional communities, organic farmers, and fellow pilgrims from all over the country who are working out their faith and life in God's creation in ways that remember that first task we were given, to work for the abundance and flourishing of all of creation.
I was in a pass through these two mountains and the weather was just fierce. The wind was howling, the rain was lashing. But I remember sitting in this cleft of a rock going, I should not be here. But I'm so grateful for that memory of the power of nature and the vulnerability of myself within it. I am part of that creation, but I am just part. And actually it is so powerful.
The three great festivals of the Jews, the last one, called the Festival of Shelters or Booths, was to build a hut in their gardens with no roof so that they would sleep looking out into the heavens and remember they are children of God at ground level, looking onto the creation, dependent on God.
Everything I think that the Bible is telling us, and the early church was very attuned to this, is about the intrinsic importance of all creation to God, of Christ's redeeming mission being about lifting, redeeming the whole of creation. Why have we got it wrong in the church? I think probably because of our besetting human sin of anthropocentrism, that we put ourselves at the center of everything.
And I think in this day and age, people are becoming very conscious of the damage that we human beings have done to our global environment. And I think that more and more people want to get out of doors and actually appreciate that for themselves. Walking through a landscape and learning about it, you learn things about yourself that you didn't know about. You meet the most extraordinary cross-section of other people.
Actually, there is a vocation on people of God to be caring for creation. That was our original calling, you know. So let's frame that in the language of worship so that people of faith actually recognise that's as much part of their discipleship as their prayer and Bible reading and giving to charity.
We can perhaps give a kind of depth to people's concerns about the environment and say that there is something behind all this. There is something behind creation. We're not just living in a random world. We're not living in a purposeless world.